Welcome to the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast. It is Super Bowl weekend, and it is Friday, February 6th. I am Chris Hodge. Got my main man, JR, 15-5 with free picks. Got another one on the Super Bowl going today. I got to keep tuned right here for that. Look to go 16-5, finish that off. Also joining us on the show, very excited about this, Fred Davis today. He's doing a great job with his partner, Blake Elliott, on the Fan After Dark radio show, which is on 105.3 Dallas Sports Radio. That airs 7 to 11 and number one in there.
And they should be.
Yeah, they are great.
They're good.
I was on with them on Tuesday.
All right.
They did a great job. They do a great job. So Fred Davis, number one sports radio host down in Dallas, Texas, for the Nighttime Drive, will be joining us in a few moments. So that's great. I'm gonna get started with a question. I don't know. I saw this on Instagram.
Okay.
And I really thought this was a scumbag move by a wife. And my wife has done this to me. And it made me like think of my wife in a certain way. I'm like, yo, did you ever try to do this to me? So there's a story on Instagram where a woman was saying, you know, she makes a PB&J sandwich for her husband to take to work every single day. And she uses like a certain type of grape, right? So a jelly, whatever. And when she's mad at him, and he always says, oh, I love that. And she goes, I made it with love, right? Now, my wife has said she's made meals with love to me. Okay. When she's mad at him, she uses a different type of jelly, no sugar, just like the worst type of jelly you could possibly have. And the PB&J tastes different. And the husband says, yo, what happened? And she goes, well, I made that with hate. And we're not smart enough to understand they changed the ingredients.
Come on. Yeah, so, we are.
No, so this has happened to me in the past when my wife is ready to fucking kill me, right? Because if you're a wife and your husband isn't the man you love the most, yet the guy you want to kill the most, what are we even doing? Right? Like, are you even married? I have tasted things from my wife that tasted differently. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, is she trying to poison me right now? I mean, I'm going to eat it anyway.
Oh, my God.
She changed the ingredients.
How about the time you ate the dog food because it was too dark?
Well, that was just a complete fuck up. that was a complete. We referenced that on the radio show.
We did.
I went to my wife, so I had to ask her. I go, D, is this true? Like, have you guys resorted to this now? Changing ingredients?
I can't even bring it up to my wife. She'll start doing it.
My wife was like, no, I've done that to you numerous times.
Come on.
Yeah. And I was like, I fucking knew it.
She admitted it?
Yeah.
Didn't look at you and say, I would never do that.
And you know what I said to my wife? I would have rather you cheated on me.
Oh, no.
She's changing ingredients, man.
You just put a different jelly on. Come on, bro. It's not like she loogied in it or went in the bathroom and took it back out and gave it to him. She just put the no sugar jelly on it. Big deal.
That's a big deal.
Your wife didn't add the extra hot sauce to your, whatever. Come on. It's not. I would never rather her cheat because then it's over. I don't know about you. Cheating? Done. Forever. When I talk to a young couple, because there's a lot of them around here, right? Like one of the guys working, he always about to ask his wife, his girlfriend, to marry him. And they always ask, what's the advice? I've been married almost 30 years, like you, right? What's the advice I always give? Don't cheat. Never fucking cheat. Just be loyal. You don't have to be the perfect guy. Don't do all the shit she tells you to do. As long as you're loyal, you'll always be able to fall back on, your own morals, your own. Because when you're a piece of shit and you go out and you cheat, right? Now you got to do everything she says. She's like, Super Bowl party's coming up. You got to go clean the garage. I can turn around and be like, fuck that. I ain't got no time for it. And she does it. Whereas if you're a cheating piece of shit, you're running outside, you're like, I got it, honey.
So never mind the marriage. You got to do extra work if you cheat.
Oh, you got to do everything. You're doing the
stabbed.
dishes. She cooks. You're doing the dishes. Nah.
No, see, I would relish doing the dishes. My wife would stab me in my neck in my sleep. Oh man. So speaking of, you give advice. I say this all the time. My wife's aunt gave me the best advice of all time. I've referenced this. I got married when I was 22.
Same with me. Yeah.
She said this to me in church before my wife walked down the aisle. She said, I'm going to give you the best advice for a successful marriage. We're in church. An older woman, right? At the time, she's my wife's aunt. And she goes, keep the fights clean and the sex dirty. I have never forgotten that woman. You gave me the best marriage advice of all time. Now, my wife will tell you.
That is good. That's good advice.
My wife will tell you I have not kept the fights clean. I'm a dirty fighter. You know that. Right. I'm a dirty fighter. Unfortunately, I apologize if I ever hurt your feelings, bro.
See, I'm complete opposite, man.
I know. You're pussy.
Just don't piss me off. Then I'm going to fucking kill you. But, I mean, for the most part, when it comes to, listen, I got 6 kids. You got 3 kids, right? You've been married almost 30 years. Mm-hmm. Our job has been not to go and start the fight. It has been to keep the peace. Like, I tell my wife, thank God she doesn't watch this podcast. No, my wife keeps the peace. Thank God she doesn't watch this podcast. I told her the other day, if it wasn't for me, we would have been divorced 28 years ago.
You said that?
Oh, yeah. She's like, how could you say that? I'm like, because I'm always the one picking up the pieces, putting it together. You just come in like a rhinoceros in a china closet. You break everything, and then I got to go around putting together all the pieces and look at you and be like, I love you.
You couldn't call her a skinny animal like a squirrel?
Oh, God. Yeah, my wife is skinny enough. She's never, ever going to take anything about weight.
Let's get to
6 kids, 5'9", and 140 pounds. She looks amazing.
Let's get the podcast going. Jesus Christ! Super Bowl weekend again.
I love we could say that.
Yeah, we'll have
Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
The reason why the inside joke for that is when we do our radio show, we're not allowed to say Super Bowl.
Right? Big dish.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All the hypocrisy of it is crazy.
Great bowl, great soup.
Recently this week was the Westminster Dog Show. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Are you really bringing this up?
I don't like it. Right? Who won it? Penny.
I don't watch it enough.
The Doberman Pinscher won it.
Right? I don't know.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. They parade these dogs around like common puppets on a string. I don't like it.
They're dogs. They're animals.
Oh,
They're show dogs. They're enjoying every part of it other than when they get their nuts grabbed, maybe. But they're enjoying it.
Yeah, listen, hold on.
Come on, they out there prancing. They look all great. They get their nails done. They get their hair did. They get all of it.
Have you ever liked getting grabbed by the nuts? Have you ever liked that? Don't tell me to do it. Don't tell me to do it.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, not if there's some guy up behind you trying to do it. No one can convince me the dog's like that.
If I'm at the doctor's and they're like, cough. No, I'm not getting, no.
But by the way, what's up with the guy who has that job? Hey, Mike, what do you do for a living? Well, I grab dogs by the nuts.
That's
really? How the hell did you get that job?
You do realize that guy does something else. That's just his job at the dog show.
You see the dog, it's like it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not a fan of it. But that Doberman Pinscher, Penny, that was a good looking dog.
And that's normally the big dogs don't get it, right? It's
usually
one of those little dogs, but Doberman, I can't remember the last time I heard a Doberman.
And I like the name Penny. Like, Penny is small. This dog was a monster. A
lot of dogs named Penny.
Small dogs.
It's like a common name. My dogs, other than the one we have now, which she had a name when we got her, but all my dogs have had original names.
Well,
like Leonidas.
I
had a Great Dane named Leonidas. That was a great name, right? When that movie 300 came out.
Yeah, that is a good name.
And then I had a Newfoundland, named him Kenobi. And I named all of my animals during that time frame all Jedi warriors. I had Yoda, Luke, Kenobi. Oh, yeah.
I don't mind that.
Oh, yeah.
My brother and sister-in-law have a dog named Penny, and you could literally punt this thing further than you can punt the football. I mean, it's not even
That's my dog now, Sonny.
Who is it? What? Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec, he said any dog under 50 pounds is called a cat. It's not a real dog. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Westminster Dog Show. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan.
It's one of those actually stupid things that if it comes on afterwards or whatever, or something I'm watching, I watch it a little bit.
And they got the guy running around in a tuxedo. Just
dogs are prancing around.
I mean, buy it.
They look like they're enjoying it.
This story is going to get me in trouble for saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I read this the other day. BYU played Oklahoma State basketball on a Wednesday night, I believe, and they lost. Okay, and the coach for BYU, Kevin Young, was upset. There was a chant from Oklahoma State, and the chant was Kevin Young is Mormon, and the chant was "Fuck the Mormons." All right, now again, right. Now here's not a good chant, right? It's not a good chant. Like, we get that, but here's my problem with this. Like, it's sports. Guys are so soft, and then this is what drives me fucking nuts, man.
That's these days. Everybody became soft.
I hate this. This is what I can't stand the most. This is what's going to get me in trouble. This is what I hate the most. The guy does an interview like a crying bitch. I got to go home and explain to my 4 kids why they were saying fuck the Mormons.
Why do you have to explain that to your kids?
Well, it's an easy explanation. I'm a big time college basketball coach. The job of the student section or the fans is to chant things to get us off of our game, which they did because
did a
they
great
played
job.
a sucky game. Why do you care? This is what I mean. Why
That
do
should get
you
rev,
care?
if anything, get you revved up. Like,
Right.
you know, you want to say, but maybe, you know, Mormons don't like to fight. So they're just like, oh my God. You know, instead me, if they were like, you know, screaming something about fuck the Catholics or something, I'd want to go kick their ass. What better way to do it than on the basketball court?
Man, I had people.
He should have used that as motivation. Were they doing it in the first half? Were they doing it in the second
They were
half?
just
When
doing
were
it
they doing
throughout the game. And listen, I've been in situations.
That's like when I go to Islander games and we scream, fuck the Rangers.
Right.
No matter who's playing.
Right.
I went to a Toronto Maple Leafs game and we were screaming,
Right.
fuck the Rangers. It's like, really?
I mean, I played in games where people yelled at me, I'm going to fuck your girl. Like, okay.
Oh.
Really?
That's like a...
I mean...
That's a DK Metcalf type situation for me.
I'll tell you a funny story about, and this is the one I remember the most. All the trash talking was great. I loved it, and I did it too. So I actually forget where we were playing, but I caught a ball on the sidelines, and one of the kids that was holding the chains right next to it, he was giving the balls. He couldn't have been more than 9 or 10 years old, right? He had to be young. And I kind of I get pushed out of bounds and I almost rub up against him, almost knock him over, right? I actually tried to avoid him. And as I'm getting up, this is God's honest truth. As I'm getting up, I'm like, hey, what's up, little man? Kid goes, get away from me, 19, you suck.
10-year-old.
I had to be 10 years old, man.
Oh, my God.
Get away from me, 19, you suck. And this was on their sidelines. The whole team just breaks out of laughter.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, yo, that's a good one. Get away from me, 19,
Next
you
time,
suck.
you should have told the quarterback on the next one, throw it to me at the sideline. I'm taking that kid out. Pow! Oh, you're right, kiddo. Sorry, 19 got you.
And I mean, I get pushed out. I try to avoid him. I'm like, hey, what's up, little man? Yeah, get away from me. It's
You
great.
suck, 19.
But going back to this, I had taken my son, my middle son. He was young. He was like 8 or 9 years old. It was a Rangers-Penguins game. It was a playoff game. It was Game 6. It was the year the Rangers went to the Stanley Cup Finals. And,
Wow.
it was Marty St. Louis. It was right when his mom died or father died. So he had a death in the family. And the Rangers were down 3-1 in that series. They won Game 5. They come home for Game 6. So I took my son to this game. And the guy behind us, now my son's young, right? And the guy behind us, every time Sidney Crosby stepped on it, I'm telling you, every time, he would be like, Crosby, get off the ice, you pussy. I mean, he said it every time. And a couple other players.
So what?
Right. But, you got a young kid. But, I took my young son to a game. I'm not. Listen. Okay.
Yeah.
So eventually, after the 30th time this guy said this, which is hilarious, my son kind of grabs me. He's like, he goes, Dad, what's that word pussy mean?
What's a pussy?
God's honest truth. And and this is what goes back. I got to explain to my kids why they saying this. I said, listen, I go, if you play sports at a high level and you get called a pussy on the road, you're pretty good.
You're pretty good.
Take that as a compliment. Now, if you get called a pussy at home, you got a problem.
Then he went home. His brother did some crazy things. Wow, bro, that was pussy right there. Because you explained it as he's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that's what I said to him. I'm like, hey, man, if you get called a pussy on the road, bro, you're playing
doing
pretty good.
something right.
And Sidney Crosby,
I think he's had a good career.
He's had a pretty good career. There's not, let's see, how many teams play in the NHL? 30, 31?
32.
Yeah, whatever. Not one of them would not like a Sidney Crosby on their team.
My goodness.
He's a great player.
Phenomenal. He's a great leader in the locker room.
Yeah.
He's just
Great player.
And that these days he's not always looking to score. He's just looking to set things up. And he's got. I think he's in his 20th season.
Yeah.
18th or
I mean, he's a
20th season.
phenomenal player.
Because
Great to watch.
I watched the Islanders. You know that, and they were playing the Penguins the other night. I watched the game. They fell behind, wound up winning that game. But they were comparing Schaefer, who's an 18-year-old, and to Crosby when he came in. When he came in, he was 18 years old. And obviously two totally different positions. Schaefer's a defenseman, and you probably haven't had anybody that good at that age since Bobby Orr.
Right.
I mean, he's
Schaefer's
averaging.
He's been great.
24 minutes a game.
He's
got
been great.
15 or 16 goals this year. He's been amazing.
And he plays defense.
And he plays
There's
defense.
There's a lot of
by the way,
players in the
my
league.
wife keeps hitting parlays in every Islander game.
Your wife.
My wife. I ask her, all right, who's scoring tonight, honey? She gives me 2 of them. Bang. Every time. This woman is on fire.
That's what you ask your wife?
I just for her own sake. We're watching the game together. I put something in and I say, "Hey, who do you want to cheer
That's
for?"
a nice question.
And she always goes with either Barzell and Schaefer or Heineman, and always nails it.
Man.
Again against Pittsburgh, she had it.
So that's better than the what's for dinner tonight?
What's for dinner?
That's the question I
I'm
asked.
30 years married. I don't get dinner no more.
You heard something.
It's what am I picking up for dinner?
Again, and I hate to reference this because you guys will probably not believe it that this isn't scripted, but we don't script the podcast, but we do talk about certain things throughout the course of the week. Sure. And JR heard a radio interview.
Yes, I was listening to the
Mashburn.
radio. Yes.
And Jamal Mashburn said something along the lines
I came in heated up.
You did, yeah. He came in. He was upset about this, where Cooper Flagg. No, he's just upset. You thought
pissed off. Like, right. How do you say you're a commentator? You can't say something that dumb. And you're going to say it's not dumb.
Well, that's a great reference point for this. So Jamal Mashburn said that if Cooper Flagg was coming out this year, he'd be number 6.
But he said based on his numbers in the NBA this season, he would be number 6.
Which is what? 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Cooper Flagg, not bad.
But also a tremendous leader as a teenager. Remember how old this kid is, right? I mean, he's a teenager. He's playing amongst men. By far, name me a better teenager that has come out and played in the NBA their first season as good as this kid's playing.
LeBron James.
No.
What do you mean?
The numbers.
I hate LeBron James.
So do I. The only one that I could go all the way back to and say was somewhat of the same type of impact. LeBron was great later on. Okay.
He had a great first year.
Very good. Not as good as Cooper Flagg. Not as good as Cooper Flagg.
Oh, you're going to get
That's
boy,
okay.
man.
You guys can attack me all you want.
He said it.
I said Sean Kemp, maybe.
No, I mean.
Tremendous impact out of high school.
Well, he didn't come out of high school.
I know. Cooper Flagg came out of Duke.
I mean, it was 1 year.
understand
LeBron
that.
came out of high school.
Correct.
If you want to go 1 year, like Kyrie came out. Kyrie was phenomenal when
Fire.
he came out. All of the,
But these guys didn't lead the team. Cooper Flagg is leading the Mavericks.
All right, let's examine, before we get to Super Bowl weekend and Fred Davis coming on, let's examine what was said there. So he said he'd be number 6. I don't believe he'd be number 6. I'm going to tell you this, though. I believe he'd be number 5.
The only one I put before him is Boozer.
Boozer's phenomenal.
And
he's
right
having
now,
a
they think
great year.
He's at what?
23, 10, and 4?
Yeah, but he's number 3 expected.
Yeah, I think he should be number 1. The kid who's number 1 right now in the mock draft is the kid Peterson.
Get the hell out of here.
And the parents are calling that.
Mommy, can I play a couple more minutes? Bill Self allows this to happen. Are you shitting me, man? That would be the day. Oh, but he's going to be the number 1 pick. I don't give a shit. You ain't telling me nothing. I coach this
little backstory there. There is a story going around where Peterson's parents tell the Kansas coaching staff when they want this kid to play or not.
I'm going to get a call from Bill Self. What are you saying on your podcast?
So I don't think he'd be before Boozer this year. The kid from BYU.
He's the only one you can make an argument for. To me.
DeBonza?
No, Boozer.
What about the kid from BYU?
DeBonza.
Yeah,
okay.
24. I think he's 24, 6, and 3 with BYU. Caleb Wilson from North Carolina.
The kid can rebound. He's averaging double-digit rebounds, putting up points. But again, you're going on. These are college numbers. Cooper Flagg is averaging 20 a game in the NBA as a teenager.
Averaged 19 last year in college.
I understand that, but he went up a level, okay? Everywhere he's went, whether it was high school, whether it was college, he has been better than everyone around him, and he has elevated his game. And if you don't see the huge jump in his game from what he did at Duke a year ago to what he's doing in Dallas this year, you're crazy.
I think if he came out,
and he's only going to get better.
If he came out this year, he probably is number 5.
No way.
Absolutely
no way.
I love that. You know,
if he's coming out this year and he's got his numbers and experience in the NBA, and you're saying, "Hey, there was something wrong with the draft last year. We got to do it over." Cooper Flagg's going back in. Number 1 pick. Period. End of discussion. Proven asset. Already did it. You're not rolling the dice. These other kids, you're rolling dice.
Not a bad point. Not a bad point at all. Let's get to the Super Bowl. Everyone is ready for this game. Seattle, New England. Rematch of a Super Bowl that lives in infamy.
Yeah.
Might be the worst. The worst play call in the history of play calls.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, don't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
Man, I watched a breakdown of Bill Belichick talking about that play, about how they practiced it.
Yeah.
right? Did you watch? It was like a 5-minute thing that came up on my feed of him talking about how Kyle was supposed to be there, and they tried it with different personnel, and it was always if there was one wide receiver in the goal line, if there's two, if there's three, and there was three. They put 3 wide receivers out in that goal line stance, and he knew exactly that there was going to be a pick. He said beforehand, we watched film. We knew what was going to happen.
There 3? I thought there were 2 out there.
Was there? Yeah, there was a third. So I believe that he said there was a third out there, and that he knew that the inside guy was going to pick, and that was going to open up this guy to go on the inside. It's an automatic touchdown. No. So what happened was the guy that they were supposed to pick, he came up.
He jammed him.
Yeah,
and he broke on the route.
And then the other guy jumped right in front of him.
Broke on it.
Correct.
Yeah, he knew what was coming.
They knew what was happening.
Great coaching.
They practiced it in every practice at least once, they said.
I think it's a great Super Bowl with storylines.
Sure.
Rooting for Sam Darnold because of the Jets situation. I always root for former Jets and Giants.
So do I.
Rooting for Drake May, second-year quarterback. Want to see that kid do well.
Fuck. Go on.
Because you're a fan, bro.
I'm not a fan.
Yes, you are.
It's got nothing to do with fanhood.
Oh my God.
I just hate the Patriots.
Because they win.
No, just
because they win. You don't hate someone that loses. Do you hate?
If this was the Baltimore Ravens, you could talk shit.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, you could say I'm a fan.
Let me ask you a question.
But I don't hate them because of my fanhood.
You're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Do you hate the Cleveland Browns?
No.
Why? Because they never win a game.
They suck.
Correct.
If
do you hate the Baltimore Ravens? Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Best thing that happened to them was getting rid of John Harbaugh.
Yeah, of course. So last week I gave out Jackson Smith and Jigba to score a touchdown. There you go, snorting again. Jackson Smith and Jigba -110. You gave out over Kenneth Walker, which I screwed up. I gave that out for free on radio.
I'm like, what are you doing? Guy's stealing my pick on the radio show.
I knew I heard that somewhere.
I had over passing rushing yards along with a touchdown for Kenneth Walker. That paid only $330, but still nice little payoff.
What do you've been 15-5. Yeah. I'm not gonna have a free pick on the game. JR 15-5 this year. Never lost 2 games in a row.
I like you giving that to me. You're letting me give out the free pick this week. I know we're only going 1.
Yeah, but I've always let you, and it's the NFL. You're 15-5. I had to be a fucking idiot to try to jump in on that. Go ahead. What do you got?
So we've been great. Obviously, I've been doing really well with the totals throughout the NFL season. Did we give out a loser throughout the playoffs in a free pick?
You didn't.
I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
Went through the whole playoffs every week, gave them a free winner.
Yeah.
So I think we went over and over in Seattle the last 2. This one is going under. Okay, don't even think about it. Pop it in. The public's going to be on the over. Everyone likes to follow what happened over the last couple of weeks. They hop on the train. The train stops short. Everyone falls off. It derails. This game's going under. Mike McDonald. And listen, that New England defense is very much for real. As much as I think that Seattle's going to be able to put up points, they will be slowed down. They're not putting up 34 points in this game. So it's going to be a nice fight. It'll be back and forth. There's going to be some lead changes.
45.5?
45.5 go easily under the post.
A boring Super Bowl, you're saying?
Just because it doesn't have 46 points.
A Rams-Patriots type Super Bowl.
17-10 can be a nice final. It'll still be a tight game, a good game. You know how I don't like the high flyers. I'm not looking for a 45-41 score. I like it when teams go back and forth and there's some defense, some hard hits. I don't want it to be 7-3. But
I'll tell you this.
I mean, for the under's sake, I do.
I'll tell you this. Well, no, I'm not going to say it because who needs the IRS aggravation? But if it's 21-10 or a one, you might not ever see me again.
Oh, we ain't going to be around for a little while.
Is that Chris on a beach in Aruba somewhere?
Why is JR in the cabana over there?
All right, we got Fred Davis about to come on. Very excited to have him from Dallas Sports Radio and the Fan After Dark. For Chris Hodge here, we're going to close this out. JR will be right back with Fred Davis, my boy, close it out.
Guys, let's go out there and make some Super Bowl money.
Keep it right here for Fred Davis. All right, welcome back on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. I got my main man, Fred Davis. Now, this is kind of funny because I used to go on his podcast. Now you're coming on mine, which I love. Fred 100%. Davis at 105.3 in the DFW, the #1 rated sports radio host over there. Fred, thank you so much for joining. It's great to have you on with us.
I appreciate you. Yeah, no, just to clarify, because I don't want, because trust me, if the morning or afternoon guys hear me, they'll slap me around at the station. But
That's all good.
number one show at night, 105 through the Fan. We are the official flagship of both the Dallas Cowboys and the Texas Rangers. And so, look, me and my boy Blake Elliott, we had you on earlier this week, had a great time, learned a lot, and we had a lot of good feedback from folks that, look, as you know, there's a lot of gambling information out there. Most of it's BS. Anybody can go on to the social media and get some kid that has no idea what the hell he's talking about. So anytime you get a chance to get Chris Hodge and takingvegas.com on there to actually spit real facts. And it was funny because Blake missed a parlay Wednesday night. He missed it by one.
Yeah.
And I joked with him. I said, hey, our boy told you.
That tends to happen. That tends to happen.
Now, he hit one last night.
Good.
He did hit one last night.
I always like when people win.
250, so, he's feeling good about things.
So, obviously, listen, Super Bowl weekend, and I got you on here to talk about the Super Bowl. But being that you're from Dallas and the NBA trade deadline just passed, I got to bring this up. And you and I hadn't talked about, we've done this before. We've done radio before. We've done podcasts before. So, you and I, this is easy to talk to with you. But this Anthony Davis trade now from Dallas to Washington, so when you put it all together, right? To me, I'm an outsider. You do radio down there. They got nothing, literally nothing for Luka Doncic. Am I wrong for thinking that?
Well, theoretically, you're not wrong. They got Max Christie, right? They got Max Christie in a first rounder is essentially what they got. But I am of the belief, and I said this, we're a year, and what's today? The 6th is when we're recording this. So, we're a year and 5 days from the Luka Doncic trade. I have said on I've said on different podcasts, and I'll say it on your podcast, and I've said it numerous times on airwaves in the DFW. You will not convince me, and you're old enough to know this. You will not convince me that the NBA did not rig that draft or was involved with that trade. Now, one thing to throw out there, and there's all kinds of variables, but again, and who knows if we'll ever find any of this out to, as far as like just factually, but the trade went down on February 1st. That was a Saturday night. And the day before that, January 31st, the Dallas Mavericks were in Detroit playing the Pistons. It just so happened that was only the second time all year that Nico Harrison went on a road trip with the Dallas Mavericks, okay? So just put that in your hip pocket. Not that that's all that breaking news. However, the All-Star break was, a week or so later after that. And during the State of the NBA Union, they were asking Adam Silver, did you know about the Luka Doncic trade before it happened? He said no. Paused and said no. Now, do you know who also was in Detroit on January 31st?
This is why I love having you on, brother. Tell me who.
Adam Silver. Okay. Adam Silver was in Detroit on January 31st because he was there to promote the fact that Detroit was angling to get a WNBA team. And so, a bunch of local civic community leaders, whatever, had come together. And so, doing a halftime thing, whatever. Hey, we're going to welcome the WNBA and all this other nonsense, whatever. So, look, I'm not a believer in coincidences. And I find it uber, and again, this is all speculatory, but I find it very hard to believe that, you've got a league that's already rife with suspicion.
Sure.
You've got a league where Adam Silver is not David Stern.
Sure.
You've got a league and a team in the Dallas Mavericks and Nico Harrison, who was and is a corporate shill. Okay. And
I love it. I love having you on.
Tell me that the Friday before, Luka Doncic is going to get traded, and Nico Harrison and Adam Silver do not meet up. And what are the chances that they both just happen to be in Detroit the night before the biggest trade in recent NBA memory? And really, let's take it a step further, recent sports history, because you could argue this is one of the biggest trades of the last 25 years.
I'm going to argue it is the biggest trade ever in the NBA. Was there?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
was there a bigger trade? Was there really a bigger trade in that? What? Who?
Look, you're probably right. You're especially in season, right? Maybe we could go back and like you said, I don't know that I can think of any off the top of my head that even remotely compare.
Maybe Chris Paul to the Lakers, which they which they
I was going to say, which David Stern stepped in
Right.
and said, no, that's not happening.
right, like you never see a superstar of that caliber,
Not
of that-
traded, sign all the time. Free
Agreed.
agency, that
Agreed.
happens all the time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen that numerous times. But you're right. Trade, yeah. No, let's. I'll agree with you all day on that.
So I want to jump in with this because again, I'm away from it, right? I'm not a Dallas Mavericks fan. I love watching the game. I love Luka Doncic. But when I saw that text and their that trade and that return, right? I there's no way I'm in a minority with this. My initial response was, wait, what?
Yeah.
They got
It
who?
was everybody's.
Right? Like they got who?
It was everybody's. You know?
Are you kidding?
And so, I mean, come on, man. Look, you look at that, and then you see the paltry return. All right, you see what was given back. I mean, there's no way that you're trading a 31-year-old, 32-year-old for a 26-year-old superstar. He turned 26, 3 weeks after that trade was done. Then take it another step further, and I'll ask this question to you. Name me who. See the NFL and the NBA. The NBA doesn't have the luxury of having its large markets not be good, and the league still thrive.
They need to be good. Yeah.
Okay, the NBA needs. They don't necessarily have to have them, win championships. But they at least need to be in the news cycle.
They need to be good. Yep.
The NFL, and you know this, the NFL can get away with the Giants and Jets being dog shit.
Absolutely, because they've been dog shit forever. For the last,
they've been dog shit forever.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it doesn't it just doesn't matter. The NFL can get away with the fact that you've got Seattle, not a major market team. Not okay. Now, you could argue, and I think, I'm sure maybe you've seen this too, but I just read today where, the numbers have been unusually low from a betting standpoint as far as what they're seeing. Now, obviously, as you well know, this thing's going to tick up in the next 24 hours. So, but as far as the hoopla, look, we're not, the Sam Darnold story, whatever, but look, we've watched the Kansas City Chiefs, okay, my hometown team, be a dominant force for the last 8 years.
Yep.
Okay. Nobody look OKC, and that's literally the equivalent of saying OKC, right? Sure. Okay, OKC wins last year, nobody gives a shit. Okay, nobody gave a shit. Chiefs win, it's a different story, right? Because it's the NFL. You've got, you could argue, and again, I'm trying to compare apples to apples here. Shea is a superstar in the NBA in his own right. Sure. I'm not saying he's Pat Mahomes great, but from an NBA perspective, he's a top 5, top 7 player in the NBA.
MVP.
Okay, MVP. And they still don't give a shit, right?
So my issue with the NBA is I believe of the 4 majors, I don't know if you'll kick back on this with me. I believe of the 4 majors, the lay person out there, the normal person that watches sports, actually believes the NBA is the dirtiest league.
1,000%.
I actually believe that.
I don't look. There's been too much smoke, man. Look, what other league has had 30 for 30s and documentaries done on crooked referees?
Well, Fred, there actually hasn't been smoke. There's actually been fire.
There's actual fire. We've seen the fire. We've seen the fire. We've seen the shows.
Fire, man.
We've seen everything. No, you're 100% right about
man.
that. So look, real quick, bring it all back. So so that being my point about the Lakers, right? The NBA needing their teams to thrive. Okay, the NBA knew LeBron's on the way out.
Sure.
Okay. And we're at the point now where we almost really don't even care about LeBron anymore.
Absolutely.
All right. We really don't. Okay. So the NBA is saying to themselves, they were already cash poor. All right. Because the buses that's all they have is the Lakers. Right.
Sure.
So they don't have any other money making scheme or money making process outside of the Lakers. So you ain't trying to buy the Lakers with aging LeBron James and broke dick Anthony Davis. Okay.
I love it.
Because I'm going to ask you this. Who do you remember who was relevant with the Lakers after Kobe retired and before LeBron came on board?
No.
Swaggy P, Julius Randle. Okay.
Yeah, that's no one.
Nobody.
No one.
So the NBA can't afford to have its glamour franchise with nobody. Okay. So boom, let's go ahead and get a guy like a Nico Harrison who is not afraid to be the fall guy. I don't think enough people really truly understood or appreciated the fact that if you go back and watch how Nico Harrison conducted himself after the Luka trade. That dude was as smarmy as the day is long, man. I'm telling you, there's just something. Look, I spent 10 years a newspaper reporter.
Yeah, man.
You've been in the people business your whole life. You know a smarmy, slimy dude
You
when
know
you
what you
see
see.
one.
Yeah, man.
Okay. And Nico, look, I've said this on air. People are like, oh, Fred, you're crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now, homeboy was damn near sociopathic in the way he broke things down.
And this is why I love having local radio guys who are great at their job. Because when you were at Kansas City, man, you were great at your job.
So look, man, I'll just put it to you like this. Look, it's I'll say all that to say this. You don't get Cooper Flag if it's not for the Luka Doncic trade.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed.
And so
the ping pong balls jump a certain way, man.
I learned a very hard lesson, okay? And again, you and I are from that same age of, hey, you get over it, you move on. Today's sports fan, and I misunderstood or miscalculated, much like the Mavericks and much like the NBA did, how much Luka meant to the city of Dallas. Okay?
You really miscalculated that?
Well, here's what I mean by that. Bro, we're 3-4 months into it, right?
Yep.
People are still bitching and crying. So I go on air one day and I said, y'all need to get over this.
You still got a job, bro?
Bro, I said y'all need to get over it. Because it was just like here's the thing. They had Cooper Flag.
Yeah, they weren't getting over that one.
And
let me ask you, can I jump in and say, is the city over it yet?
No.
Amazing.
No.
You know what's the only thing that could actually get that city over that is the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. I feel like that's the only thing that can get that city over that.
No, 1,000%.
There's nothing else.
Look, they have the Dallas Cowboys and the city of Dallas has a battered woman syndrome relationship. Okay. They beat up on them every year, but they still love them.
Absolutely.
They just can't help themselves.
So that's fandom. I feel like it can't be any worse than the Jet fans. I mean, the Jet fans are they're just destroyed people, man. They're just destroyed. I
wouldn't wish New York Jet fandom on anybody.
I went on a podcast, to your point, when you said you went on Dallas radio, man. I went on a podcast and I said the Jets fans have been kicked in the nuts so much they don't even feel it anymore. And boy, the death threats that came in off that, like, holy shit.
But you're not wrong. I mean, look, Aaron Glenn. Look, if it wasn't for, I mean, you can't fire him, but I'm sorry, but I don't see how you keep Aaron Glenn unless things turn around. Now, yes, that program is a disaster, but two things happen. One, Aaron Glenn has no business being an NFL head coach, and two, it made Robert Saleh look a whole lot better.
I'll tell you this. Tell me if you like this idea or if you think it's stupid. And this is why I love doing radio and podcasts with you, right? I think I could actually fix the New York Jets. Now, how narcissistic and stupid does that sound, right? Because no one's ever been able to do it. But here's what I would do. That number 2 pick this year, I would trade that pick. I would get as many and as much draft compensation for that pick as possible. The Jets have sucked for the last 50 years. What's one more year, right?
Yeah.
I would build up. I would fire Aaron Glenn after this year, and I would say, Mike Tomlin, what do you want? What is the number? And I'd go hire Mike Tomlin next year with all of that draft pick compensation and a better quarterback class coming out in 2027 as opposed to what's coming out in 2026. What do you think about that?
I don't hate it. I don't hate that idea. I'm kind of torn on Mike Tomlin.
He produces winning seasons every year, man. He might not win the big one.
Look, he does. But on one hand, it's like, bro, you had prime Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell, and you still couldn't win a Super Bowl.
All right, but we got to be fair about that now, right? Let's be fair. You had Peyton Manning. You had Tom Brady. You had Pat Mahomes coming up. That's who he's dealing with in that AFC for the duration.
Well, and that AFC, but okay, so then guess what? That AFC ain't getting any worse.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, look, okay, so now you got to play Drake May twice a year. I mean, is he a better coach than Mike Vrabel? Not sure. He a better coach. Now, we don't know about Joe Brady yet. All right.
Yeah, we got to give it time.
You're going to tell me that Mike Tomlin, who you just admitted couldn't get past Manning, couldn't get past
Tom Brady,
and now I got to worry about him getting past Drake May and Josh Allen 4 times a year?
I look at it like this.
I heard he stepped down for other reasons.
Yeah, and if that's true, and I'm not in.
Mad at him.
Yeah, I mean,
are the best of us.
Listen, at the end of the day, that league is hard to win, right?
It's absolutely hard to win,
and he's never had a losing season. So the Jet fan right now that wins 2, 3, 4 games a year will sign up for 9 and 8. Like
No,
they'll
you
think that's
kill
the
for
Super
it.
Bowl, right?
I think you would just. I mean, look, it puts the Rex Ryan tenure in a whole different light.
Sure.
But you need you need a good GM. You need and really you just need a quarterback. I mean, that's I mean, look, I'm not breaking any news here or dropping any John Madden like insight, but you have to have a quarterback to win in this day and age.
Sure.
And you have to have, but not only do you have to have a quarterback, but you need to have some sort of system that isn't predictable. And that's why I think with the Chiefs, just bringing them up real quick, I think that's one of the reasons why they've had issues this past season is just, Andy Reid has gotten stagnant.
And listen, they've been around. I mean, what was it? 7 straight years AFC Championship.
7
game?
straight AFC Championship.
I mean, that's the Final Four. That's the Final Four. So imagine a Final Four team in college basketball being there 7 straight years. I mean, we'd be like, holy shit. I mean, that run Kansas City
and you
went
went to
on
5 Super Bowls out of it.
I mean, they had to have a season like last year. They just had to at some point.
I'm actually okay with it. That team, and look, I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. I was a Chiefs fan before it was cool to be one.
Yes, you were.
That team needed, and look, everybody can say, well, you're making an excuse. That team was tired in that Super Bowl.
Sure.
Okay. There's a reason why teams don't win three. There's a reason why it's hard to three-peat in the NFL.
Sure. And why it's never happened.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, the NFL, it is as you alluded to, the reason it's called not for long. And, we're in a period now where, and I was listening to Everson Walls. He was on with our station during this week during Radio Row. And he said one of the things that he's noticed, Everson Walls, I mean, this dude, hell, played in New York, played with the Cowboys, won a few Super Bowls back in the day, but was from that, old school 80s era. And he said, look, man, you can't coach these players today the way you used to. You almost have to have kind of a psychology-like degree.
Sure.
Because you can't just MF kids up and down anymore and expect them to just do what you tell them to do. I mean, how many different – look, if I got to hear Mick Cronin from UCLA bitch and complain one more time about how hard it is to coach, then just stop.
Then stop coaching. What are you doing?
I mean, look,
but
I get it.
The NCAA has done some stupid shit. Like they've
the
done some
NCAA is a
stupid
mess.
shit, man. I mean, they got guy from the G League now playing for Bama. Like they've done some crazy shit.
Dude, they got the kid that played in the NBA. Who went back to, is now with BYU.
But you know what? You know who it's hurt, Fred? And by the way, we have Fred Davis on, #1 nighttime radio host, DFW. Make sure I get that out there for you, Fred Davis, there from the Fan After Dark. You know what it's really hurt, and no one is speaking about this other than
kids.
Calipari said it. It's the high school senior is just destroyed. In
Well,
most sports.
Here's where I'll push back on that a little bit.
All
Because, look, I love Calipari as much as the next guy, but look, if there's anybody that can sell ice to Eskimos, it's him. Look, high school seniors are doing okay if you're good. Okay, if you're a 5-star, you're going to get recruited.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
What's hurting you now, and I'll take it a step further because I cover high school football here in Texas, which it's almost like its own.
That's religion.
Sports. It absolutely is, right? And so part of my coverage this year was I would talk to the different JUCO and Division II and FCS coaches throughout the state of Texas. And so what's happening now is, so when you and I grew up, the JUCO leagues were meant for either A, you had a criminal record, or B, you couldn't pass the SAT or ACT.
You failed every test.
Okay. And you bounced around.
Yeah.
You were a stud athlete, but you
Yep.
just didn't have your head on straight.
Yep.
That's what JUCO was back in the day.
Now,
okay?
before you go any further, I don't know if you noticed about me. Recently, a couple years ago, I was the offensive coordinator for a junior college team.
Okay.
I saw it first up.
Okay.
What these kids were. I saw it first up.
So now, though, and you can relate to this. So now, and maybe it's a little bit different in New York than it is here in Texas, but now what's happening is, from talking to JUCO coaches and Division II coaches, they're saying, look, now you're getting all the kids. So think about it this way. 4,300 kids went into the portal this year. All right. There wasn't 4,300 spots open.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let's just say half of those kids get filled. Where do the other 2,300 go?
Correct.
They got to go to the D2 schools. They got to go to the FCS schools. They got to go to the JUCO schools, because now that you've allowed these schools, the FCSs and the JUCOs, to say, okay, well, you can go there for 3-4 years and it doesn't count towards your D1 eligibility. Which and to your point, I mean, look, if you want to play, my point in all that is this: if you want to play, there's a place for you to play.
Absolutely.
Do you have to put a little more work in? Do you have to be a little more, work a little bit harder as far as, okay, now I got to find some way? Look, my cousin's going through it with his son, right? The kid's only a sophomore. He'd love to go D1, may have to go D2. But here's the thing, and you know this: if you're good, somebody's going to find you.
Someone's going to find you.
Okay? Social media is the great equalizer. Yes, it's a cesspool in society, but at the same time, it can be it can help people, especially in the sports world. So, it's just these new rules, and whether it's NIL, whether it's the transfer portal, it's like, okay, I just want to play for the bag, this, that, and the other. I mean, it's you have to really find a way. I was talking to Bill Self, and he said, look, I asked him point blank, I said, what the hell's happened the last 2 years? He goes, I can't coach the way I want to coach. He goes, I can't motherfuck kids anymore.
Well, that, and I mean, there's been reports, you would actually notice more than I would, the kid Peterson. I mean, the parents are basically saying when this kid is going to play. Is that great?
No, that's BS.
I love it.
That's
because that's been going around.
Here's the deal with that. Look, dude, is there something going on there? Absolutely, 100%. Okay. The kid's not 100%. He's got something going on. First, it was his hamstring, and then it was a cramp or whatever, and it was really weird. But
Fred, with all of this,
and said he wanted to play.
But with all of that, he's still the number 1 draft pick next year in every mock draft.
Look, did you see him against Texas Tech on Monday night?
I mean, he is still the number 1 draft. But that kid plays another play. Go ahead.
Now, look, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
To your audience before everybody says, what the hell's this guy talking about? I don't know that you can necessarily trust me when it comes to talking about my Kansas Jayhawk basketball team.
Oh, the biased man! Okay. Look at this.
I just look. I want to be 100% transparent and candid with your listeners. I don't want to insult their intelligence. Look, I've said time and time again. Part of what makes me good at my job is the fact that I don't. I mean, there's only 2 teams I get emotional about: my Kansas Jayhawk basketball team and my Kansas City Chiefs. All right, those are the 2 teams that I can be a little irrational and fanatical about. So yes, take my information with a grain of salt. But that being said, KU basketball this year, if Darren Peterson stays healthy, and that's a big if. Now, homeboy went off against Texas Tech, had 2 huge threes in the final 90 seconds of that ball game. Boom, done. If my man stays healthy, I'm calling my shot right now. It's going to be a Carmelo Anthony-like 2003 Syracuse run. Book it, take it to the bank. I don't know what the odds are right now, but let me go ahead and I might have to call you after this is over. Put a little something on it, because I'm telling you right now that team is – because he's better than – and look, Darren Peterson is better.
I have a surprise. I have a surprise for you. I went on San Diego Sports Radio the week before the college basketball season.
Yeah.
And I said, Kansas, when healthy, they're the best team in the nation.
Absolutely.
And I actually have future bets on Kansas. And I could prove that months ago. I went on radio. We got about 10 minutes left here with you, Fred.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's get to the Super Bowl, right? We spoke about it a little bit on Tuesday when I was on your show, and thank you as always for having me on. Has anyone called into your show and said they think New England's going to win this game?
Honestly, we're actually getting into because of the NBA trade deadline. We have been talking NBA all week.
Gotcha.
We're actually doing our NFL talk last night, but I'm going to go ahead and I've teased, but I'm going to I'll go ahead and give you my NFL prediction now.
Let's go.
And I'm going to give it tonight on the air for the DFW folks. I've got New England
winning the game.
Absolutely.
Tell me why.
A couple reasons. One, I don't think you can underestimate the Mike Vrabel effect. Okay. I think when it comes look, and you know this as well as anybody. When you get to these kind of games, all right, when you get to the Super Bowl, coaching is at a premium, all right? You don't get poorly coached teams don't make it to the Super Bowl. You can have a mediocre quarterback, you can have a bend don't break defense with a great offense, but the one thing that is undeniable is you have to have great coaching, all right, in some form or fashion. And I don't think it's a coincidence, and you know this. Tennessee falls off a cliff. We realized
Absolutely.
Tennessee was not a good. I mean, they were good.
They weren't a bad football team, though. Well, he was in the playoffs,
AFC
right?
South year in, year out. Good.
Yeah.
Not sure about that. Guess what? They sure were under Mike Vrabel. Okay.
Sure.
This was a team that was 4-13 last year.
Yeah.
4-13. Josh McDaniels. Look, I don't want Josh McDaniels as my head coach.
We're in agreement.
I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I'll hire you before I hire Josh McDaniels to be my NFL head coach. That said, when it comes to coaching up offense,
Great guy.
Josh McDaniels is one of the most underrated offensive coordinators of our lifetime.
Very good.
He got
Very good.
Mac Jones to a freaking Pro Bowl his rookie year.
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you what worries me. Okay, I am not sold on
Drake May.
I'm not.
I don't blame you.
I'm not.
I don't blame you. But here's the thing we forget too, though. Drake May was balling to the regular season. Has he had a rough postseason? Yes. Yes, he has.
I mean, if I look at, oh boy, the Patriot fans are going to hate me for this, man. Especially the fact that they know I'm from New York. They had a gift. They had a gift run through this postseason. A gift.
Oh no, look. I mean, CJ Stroud's ass.
Oh man,
CJ Stroud. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now. CJ Stroud cost himself a contract.
Absolutely. And then you get. I don't believe this. I don't believe they get by Denver in the AFC Championship. If Bo Nix. I don't believe they get by Denver.
I don't think you're wrong either.
Yeah. So to me, the blessings have just been. And look, New England is.
But they haven't played well though. And
they got through it.
Yeah. And they're due. Let's not forget, there's a team that had a 5-6 game stretch where they were beating teams by 20, 30 points week in, week out.
Sure.
So that offense is capable. And here's the thing. You got 2 weeks to prepare. And I think something that has not been, again, I've been so knee deep in NBA coverage this week that I have not really had a chance to really get as deep into Super Bowl coverage as I normally do. But I don't think you can make enough of the fact. How many Super Bowls Clint Kubiak been to?
Yeah.
How many Super Bowls Mike McDonald been to?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, this is what they do.
Yeah, and listen, that is I love you because I haven't heard that for 11 days.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that for 11 days. That's why it's great having you on.
This is what these guys do, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this is Josh McDaniels. I mean, these two have been going to Super Bowls together for 20 years.
Yep.
Okay. The moment Seattle, yes, they are they happy to be there? Absolutely. Okay. And yes, I'm sure the Patriots are to an extent from a player standpoint, but at the same time, too, I mean, think about it. They beat the Broncos, and what's the thing that Vrabel tells them in the locker room? Be here at the bus at 8 o'clock or you're not going to the bowl.
Yep.
Okay. He got Stephon Diggs to play all 17 games. Let's think about that for a second. and no, let me think about this, though. Think about this. You've got Stephon Diggs, a perpetual knothead.
A lunatic.
Who's
a
been on his
lunatic.
best behavior
Agreed.
all year long.
Hey, the Patriots way.
Look, man, I'm telling you right now. Do I think they're going to muck it up? Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, and mark my words on this. 2001. This game just reeks of 2001 all over again. Remember what was the spread? Was 14 and a half.
It was a big spread.
Crazy.
Big
St.
spread.
Louis had a 14-point and
large
what
point
was the
spread.
thing they did that day? They said we are going to make sure we beat the shit out of Marshall Faulk, and they hit him every single play. I'm telling you right now, they may put 2-3 different dudes on JSN. Who outside of JSN, who you worried about on that offense?
I mean, Kenneth Walker is
okay, and don't get me wrong, but you ain't worried about his backup.
No, well, Charbonnet was.
You're not worried about it. Look, it hurts that they don't have Charbonnet in there, right? I'm telling you right now, I think you're gonna see them bracket JSN.
Okay.
They're gonna give JSN fits. Okay, they're going to muck this thing up. I think it's going to be a very similar type game to what we saw in 2001 between the Rams and the Patriots way back when that whole dynasty started back then. I can see this being a 2017 Patriots win.
So here's the deal, because I'm going to let you go in a couple minutes.
Yes, sir.
Someone's going to owe someone dinner here.
Let's do it.
Someone's going to.
Let's do it.
I went on your radio show, I gave out Seattle.
I'm a steak guy, so just remember that. I'll go with the 24 ounce ribeye.
I love
maybe
it.
A T-bone, something like that, medium rare. Some mac and cheese on the side. Let's go.
Fred Davis, #1 rated nighttime in the DFW, 105.3. I would go on his podcast all the time. I was on his radio show on Tuesday. Fred, thank you so much for coming on, being a part of the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. We're definitely going to do this again. I know we got some things in the works, you and I, so it's always excited to talk to you and just a different perspective on things.
Always a good time, my friend. We enjoyed it. Like I said, we'll love you guys up tonight. If you got any promos you want me to throw out there this tonight on the show, I'll do it. And enjoy the game on Sunday.
Fred, my man, thank you so much for coming on. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. I'm Chris Hodge, had JR on with me, and obviously you just heard the interview with Fred Davis, who's on 105.3 down in Dallas, Texas, the DFW, and he is the #1 rated radio show host at nighttime on 105.3. So if you can check that out online, my boy Fred Davis does a tremendous job. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the big game on Sunday, and we'll catch you back next week on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast.